Today I'm going to show you how to force feed an African house snake. So, first of all, we don't want to be doing this unless it's last resort. You always want to try and get your animals to eat on their own, and these African house snakes can be quite the stubborn ones. And it's hard to try to get a pinky mouse down their throat. So what I'm using is a rat tail. So I just cut the tip off of a rat tail and I put it inside its mouth. Sometimes when you're force feeding animals, you can kind of stick the food a little bit in their mouth and then they'll eat it. With these guys, they tend to just kind of spit it out. So you want to make sure that you put it all the way down. And I think this is the second snake now, so I'm actually doing this with two snakes that just don't want to eat. And I put the tip of the tail in. I grabbed this off like a medium or larger rat so that it was a little bit thicker, and I just stuck the tip in, and then you can see I'm twisting it gently into the snake. So by twisting it, it kind of lets the fur, the hairs kind of twist and slide into the snake. And once again, this is always a last resort. This is like after the snake hasn't eaten for a couple months, and it's basically at the point where if I don't do this, the snake's going to die. And it never ceases to amaze me how some of these animals, they don't want to eat, and they just will fade away until they don't make it. And this is another tricky side of reptile keeping. This video is only 7 minutes long, and many of you will run away from it before it's over. But in actuality, this is basically 2 hours of me with two snakes getting them to eat. Another aspect of reptile keeping, if you want to get into reptile keeping, you have to decide what you're going to do. Are you going to let these animals that don't seem to have any will to survive just die? Or are you going to do everything you can to keep them alive? You can see that now it's in the front of its throat, so we're just taking a look at it. But I want to encourage it to swallow the whole thing down, because if you just leave them alone, sometimes African house snakes are very interesting. I feel that they're very shy animals, and it would make sense because they're so small. And they're one of the few snakes that when you're trying to get them to eat, if you take heated mice and stuff and you try dangling it in front of them, they just run away. And most of the time, I find what works to get them to kind of eat on their own is to just take a pinky mouse and leave it under a piece of paper towel and let them be under the piece of paper towel, and just do that basically every night. And if they don't eat it, remove it, feed it to someone else. But that's how I've had the best success of getting them to eat. But now you see the rat is in the front of its throat, and I'm just trying to encourage the snake to start moving so that its body will do what it's supposed to do. It'll swallow the rat tail down. And these are two different snakes, even though it looks like I've been doing this all with one snake. But basically the same thing with both snakes. They both did end up eating the rat and being great. After these guys start eating on their own, then they're pretty good to go. But I do find that I'll always get the best results from feeding them and just kind of leaving the food in there. And same thing even with their parents. The dad doesn't really like to eat. The mother eats the food pretty well. And this snakes, the African house snakes, are probably the animals that I have the hardest time getting started. The corn snakes kind of did the same thing where they didn't eat that great, but now I can offer them food and they all eat like champs. But these African house snakes have been challenging.
What are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it!
As you can see, it's starting to take the food down its belly. Well, it's morning right now. It's like I was doing this, I should have done this Thursday, and then I wanted to do it last night, but I just ended up waking up early today, so you're getting your Thursday video on Saturday morning. I have that saying stuck in my head, you know, that early to bed, early to rise makes you happy, healthy, and wise. So hopefully I'll be all those things. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all, ready to get back to things. I'm in Ontario, Toronto, and things are starting to open up. It's still been hard, they've shut a lot of our businesses almost down, so life's been a little bit tricky. But at least I got little snakes to give me company. And you guys. So there will be a stream tomorrow at 9 a.m. Feel free to come and join every single Sunday at 9 a.m. Streaming, yay. And what else? Participate in the community tab. Do polls. Get inputs. This is just... Somebody asked for this video a while ago and I didn't do it, so sorry, you're getting it now. Smash the like button. Smash it.